Hey Mid-Lakes families, this is Mr. Allard coming to you with a short video to talk about some of the updates we've made for Schoology to make it a little bit easier for you and your Mid-Lakes student to navigate through our course pages, which they will be using every day, whether or not they're in the classroom or working from home. So let's take a peek. Alright, just had to make myself a little smaller there. So I have my Google Chrome up. Google Chrome seems to be working much better with this, particularly for students at home. If your student is trying to use the Schoology app right now, for some students that's functioning properly, but for a lot of students that are working from home, they're reporting a lot of issues with the app. I would recommend going through Google Chrome first. If your student is using Safari and it's working fine, by all means keep doing that. But if there's any other issue going on with being able to get into Schoology, the biggest suggestion I can give is to switch. If you're using Google and it's not working, try Safari. If you're using Safari and it's not working, try Google. They can go to the Mid-Lakes website to get onto Schoology, or most of them should have it saved right as they just type in Mid-Lakes. It should pop right up. Their username and information should really be already in there. It's just their first name dot last name and then their student ID. I'm going to log in as my Schoology. It's going to look slightly different, but give you kind of the same idea. They would click login, and everything that we do is going to go through Schoology, again, whether or not they're in their class or not. The easiest way for them, once they sign in, like for mine, it is going to show them everything. Okay, it is going to show them all their classes, all their updates for all their teachers. What I would recommend, if you're working on social studies, if you're working on science, working on ELA, you're going to go up to courses and you're going to click on that link. For us, we made a picture. We had a vote in the beginning of the year. They picked animals, so we are forest friends. So they will identify with one of the characters, and that will help them find their class. I will just click on our Section 1 class. And two things that some of our 7th graders are confusing a little bit is the differences between updates and materials. I'm going to click on the updates. This is going to be where we post what is kind of our agenda for the day. As you can see today, we had a snow day today, so that means nobody's here. We're not doing any Wednesday work. I just put a quick message on there to all of my classes that can go there. So if you're wondering what we're supposed to do for that day, you can click on the update section and it'll tell you. I may not get it up exactly when they're in class, but I will be going over that in class with them. And that'll allow us to communicate what is going on in class that day, maybe if I've graded a quiz or a test or something along those lines. But that's what the update section is for. Materials is where we are going to post things that we need for class. So as you can see, our materials are going to be divvied up into folders, and we've really tried to keep these folders at a minimum. These kind of 3 or 4 folders are going to be up the entire year. So there's Social Studies 7 resources. So if I click on that, you can see we've got our 7th grade course information. We've got our useful links. Right now we've got our weekly Zoom links in there, our office hours for our Wednesday Zoom links, and our Tuesdays and Thursday extra help links that students can use that. We will be bringing that back up starting next week. To navigate back out, you can just click back on your courses and it'll bring you back here. Extra credit opportunities, just as it is, I will post extra credit opportunities for students as they come up, and we can talk a little bit more about that as we add them with our units. Study aids and assessments, if we're doing an online assessment. Right now we do have some study aids we're right now in chapter 5, Causes the Revolution. So we do have some study aids there using Quizlet, using different games that they can use to study their vocabulary terms for this chapter. Our Wednesday work for that at-home asynchronous learning is always going to be posted in here. Lots of times that's going to be News ELA, but not every time. And there's some instructions there of how to get onto News ELA. where we're going to spend most of our time is going to be in where we are at that moment. So right now we are working in chapter 5. We are learning about the causes of the revolution. So we can click on that. Now your students page is going to look much different than mine because mine has every folder for all the students. We have broken down the classes into 2 groups depending on when they are coming into the classroom or whether or not they're going to be home. So how they'll know what group they are is based on it'll say it right in the title for that lesson. So when we did the car ed puzzle lesson on Monday, that was the black and white group. We're doing that lesson. The blue group were in the classroom, so they will be working on that lesson, and I'll put the dates in there momentarily. On Thursday, when we have this group of students back in, it's just going to be flipped. Now the students, I didn't log in as a student, but they will see they won't see all these other folders. They will only see the folder that they need to work on for that day. Okay, so that's going, and I will have that posted on their update page to say this is exactly where you need to be doing. You know, if you're the blue group, they're going to be at home on Thursday, so they're going to be working on stuff at home. The group who is going to be in the classroom, the black group and the white group will be working remotely, but we will be working together on an assignment through Zoom. And these folks, will, as always, are on the Zoom as well, just working on some different activities. So if your student is unsure of what they need to be doing for that day, should they miss a day or something like that, this update page is going to be very helpful. It's going to list out what we are doing for that day. Again, snow day, we're not doing anything. In order to find those materials, they need to go to the materials. 90% of the time right now, it's going to be in that Causes of the American Revolution folder. As we add more stuff from this unit, we will divvy up that folder a little bit. But that will be pretty much where we're working. And again, we'll have it labeled Chapter 5, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, etc. as we make it through our unit. Any Wednesday work will be in the Wednesday work folder, and any other materials will go into one of these 3 folders below. But that's how they can find their assignments or what they are owed, or what they need to do for a given day. I hope this helped you and your student navigate Schoology. As always, if you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email. Your student can also message me on Schoology. And as always, I am here to answer any and all questions. Thank you.